folks, and welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck. As always, you know we love hearing from all of you. Your comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always email benradioshow@gmail.com. And at any time, you can check out the show notes and hear past episodes at thebendshow.com. All right, let's get the show rolling. Riding along shotgun, as always, my producer, sound engineer, and co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart.
Sorry if I was making a little noise in the background. I had to open up the window to the studio because there's this beautiful breeze blowing in.
Isn't it
so
nice?
I'm sorry if I kind of was clanging a little bit there. I didn't mean to throw you off.
So the joke about May is that you may have 75 degrees, you may have 20 degrees, you may have snow, you may have rain. Thankfully,
I think everybody's getting it right now. I mean, across the country. I mean,
it's been crazy.
First and foremost, thoughts and prayers to all of those people that are affected by bad weather as we speak, in tornadoes in different areas. I've been there, done that. I know what y'all are going through, and you're in our thoughts and prayers.
And depending on where you're at, I know where we are at, May is always a weather warning month. Mm-hmm. So if you aren't familiar with some of the new technology maybe your meteorologists are using to let you know about the weather, if it's coming in, things like that, this is the time to go and make yourself weather aware. We'll just put it that way. That's my little PSA. And it doesn't hurt to have that conversation with the kids to know, hey, you just said tornadoes do happen in the month of May, depending especially where you are located. And Mother Nature, we know, has no boundaries, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, she's been nasty the last few weeks. It's been rough. But put together that muster location of where you are going to gather in the event of bad weather. If you have to, is it in the basement? If you don't have a basement, where are you going to go? And then also, I always say, make sure that you've got like your wallet with you, identification. You've seen on the news places that have been devastated and there's nothing left. So make sure that you always have those important things, your phone, your ID, maybe some of those important documents that are safe and stored because, heaven forbid something happen, right?
All right, there we go. We did our duty, right?
Yes,
there?
We did.
Okay, other news. It is Mother's Day weekend, or if you're listening after the fact, you still have time, by the way, to go give your mom a big hug and wish her a belated Mother's Day, all right? We had fun with this. I went to social media kind of getting the idea of what not, you get that not to get mothers, your spouse, your ranch boss lady, whatever you want to call it, whoever's running your ship for Mother's Day. And was this funny?
I'm glad you used the word ship. That could have been taken in so many different ways. So what'd you come up with?
Well, some of the gentlemen, they let us know the fails they've had. They said, do not get her a lawnmower. Do not get her a weed whacker.
Right.
Do not get her a vacuum. That was a huge one. Even the ladies were chiming in. Do not buy me a vacuum.
Unless they ask that this is something I would like. And that's what I've learned from you is like, don't buy me this.
Unless I said, I want that new robot vacuum. That's going to do the work for me.
That's called Tigger is the robot vacuum on that.
Other ones, I had to laugh. One gal said she got a fuel pump last year. I said, did you at least get flowers on your pickup seat? She said, no, and I'm not kidding.
A new fuel pump.
Yeah, another gal, she said she got one of those jacks, those high jacks that you use to lift a trailer hitch up with.
You kidding?
And you can't even lift it. Those things are dangerous the way it is.
Beck's getting a new welder.
Right?
Actually, you would appreciate that, though. You'd be like, oh, my gosh, I'm so happy.
I actually do want a
you want a new welder.
Yeah. I have my greens, my leather gloves. I would actually like a suitcase welder. That's what they're called.
So the point is to make sure it's something that they would like.
Yes, but also know your lady, because some of them, some of you are then thinking, okay, I'm going to get her a manicure, get her pedicure, get her some of that stuff. Okay, is she into that? Or is she a ranchy, outdoorsy gal who's like, you know what, that's not going to last, but I would take, say, a massage from a professional massage therapist.
Right.
Or I would take, say, Maybe there is some new clothing attire that they've been wanting for hiking. Those kinds of items. But don't go and start buying them fishing poles just because you want a new fishing pole. That's not how this works whatsoever.
I'm getting all sorts of ideas. Now, like I've learned with you is that you like flowers on the rare occasion for no reason whatsoever. That's if true. I just go and I just get you the $5 little flowers and just say, here, I got you these, just because. Versus here it is, a celebration of some sort of day. Then you're like, But like my mom, for example, my mom loves flowers. I mean, she goes bonkers. You get her flowers, she absolutely loves it. That's what she likes.
Exactly. It all comes down to knowing the person. But the biggest thing I heard from all of them, especially the ladies, was whether they had kids, they've got now grandkids, is they just want that time. They just want you to swing by and at least give them 5 minutes, give them a hug. Most of them just said, you know what, how much just a big hug means?
Right.
That means the world. So I'm going to encourage you, whether it's early, late, after the fact, make sure you swing by and give your mom a big hug. And if nothing else, sit out and have a sandwich on the back deck with her, all right? Next on the list, it is National Beef Month. That is what May is. Beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner. You know the slogan.
You have to do it like Sam Elliott. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Okay, that's really good.
That's not bad, isn't it?
You need to turn that in for the day that Sam Elliott has to walk away.
Really?
Yes.
You're the one who always says, don't you pull that radio voice on me.
Okay, but that's okay for this. This I'm okay with. He does.
Make some money on it. Why
I
don't
do
you?
tell him that when we get in an argument and he pulls out the radio voice. Excuse me. I call him on it. Don't worry, ladies. I keep Tigger in line. But yes, it is National Beef Month, which has us excited because it's also, let's think about it. Grilling season is upon us. If you haven't already pulled that grill out, you know you're going to want to do so soon. Get it ready.
Pulled our griddle out. You saw me do that earlier.
Oh, God. It was sickening what I just saw that was sitting on our griddle top.
Yeah, I'm going to have to put a lot of work into this and re-season. And
when I say it's sickening means that his griddle top on his gas griddle has 2 inches of setting water.
And we just had a rain that come through and apparently all the covers leak and nothing. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to get flack from everybody. I know that. They're like, why didn't you put it inside? I get it, but
and we
saw how we're located.
We just talked about griddles a couple episodes back and about the importance of care and seasoning.
I was trying.
See, I'm still chastising you on air.
Because I'm trying to fix the gas problem with it.
Well, anyway.
We don't need to work out our problems.
Good thing we have a backup.
With 500,000 of y'all.
Good thing we have a backup because, yes, we already have.
No, the backup isn't working either. We can talk about that later.
We're going to have a discussion off air because I've got several pounds of burger unthawed right now on the counter to get throwing on. So, all right, yes, it is National Beef Month. And, did you know how many states have more cattle than people?
None.
Very nice.
Well, look who you're talking to. Of course it's 9. Are you going to ask me to name them?
Yes.
Okay, I can do this. It's North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Iowa, Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. Boom.
Very
More
nice.
cows than people.
Very nice. All right, let's do a little trivia on beef. Here we go. What was the world's first hamburger chain founded in 1921 in Wichita, Kansas?
When our no. Was it McDonald's? No, it's McDonald's. Burger King, Arby's, Wendy's. No.
Arby's? Seriously?
I don't know. I'm just throwing some out there.
White Castle.
What?
Yes, White Castle.
White Castle was the first one?
Since we're on the topic of White Castle, what is the nickname for the square baby burgers they sell?
Sliders.
Okay, I was starting.
We actually have another nickname for it, but we can't say that on there.
Well, I was starting to get a little worried about you there, okay? All right. What sandwich is America's favorite with 86% of the population ordering them in the last year?
What's hamburger?
Thank you. I was going to say, I'm giving you the answers, literally. Right. All right, here's one that is more otherwise beef related. How many basketballs can be made from one cow hide?
Oh, boy, howdy.
Think about a big old cow hide.
You're putting me on the spot with this.
I know.
And I know that it comes in, what is it? Is it 12 sections? 17.
11, according to...
Well, sure, of course, 11. Duh.
11
right.
basketballs, according to the Wilson Sporting Goods Company.
Of course.
And What nutrient does beef provide that helps build strong blood?
Protein.
No.
Oh, I thought strong blood.
Yes. I told you the other day I'm not anemic anymore. Meaning everyone's shaking their heads. They're going, Tigger, it's iron. Iron. We check our iron levels.
You threw me off with that one. That's not fair. Let's just go to break so I can read
right,
your trivia. Are we doing more of this?
Yes, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are talking about rattlesnakes. There are some things you need to know.
The buzzworms.
Yes, we're talking about the buzzworms, the rattlesnakes. Stay where you are. The Ben Show will be back right after this.
In the field, on the farm, or in the saddle, we're right there with you in your pocket, on your phone, and everywhere you go. RFD TV Now. Current ag reports, geo-targeted weather, live streaming 24/7, and our full collection of shows you love at the tip of your finger. At less than $10 a month, it's the cheapest tool on the farm. Download the app today and start watching RFD TV Now.
Get ready for the Western experience of a lifetime. The world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale is back and better than ever. Join us May 16th through the 19th in Miles City, Montana. From the finest bucking stock to electrifying horse racing, this event has it all. Don't miss out on the kickoff concert featuring Josh Turner and special guest Chancey Williams. Mark your calendars and saddle up for the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale where the spirit of the West comes alive. Get your tickets at buckinghorsesale.com.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the Shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back, folks, to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and Ride Long Shotgun, my co-host, as always, Jeff Tigger Earhart. We are talking rattlesnake.
Oh, your favorite subject, Beck.
Is here. I hate snakes. I hate rattlesnakes. I'm putting that out. That is my disclaimer right off the start. I will say, though, before Tigger, you jump down this rabbit hole of snakes, that I am thankful the ranch I grew up on had a lot of bull snakes. And we're talking the big ones that get to be over 5 feet long. They stretch across the entire red dirt road, but we've never had rattlesnakes on the ranch as a result. So I can be thankful for those, but that's about as far as I go for being thankful for a type of snake. Now,
but it's snake season,
it
babe.
is. I know.
Snakes are coming out in droves.
All right, what do you got for me?
And this is why we're sharing this with is we had a couple different listeners in opposite ends of the country reach out to us, and thank you for that, by the way, but giving us some updates saying that especially the rattlesnakes are very, very, very thick this year. I lived in heavy snake country. I've been to the rattlesnake roundups, and I wanted to go through a little research. I wanted to go through some information for y'all. Beck, true or false, rattlesnakes are in all 50 states of the United States?
I would say false.
That is correct. They are in all the states except Hawaii, Maine, Rhode Island, and Alaska.
Okay, I was going to right off the bat guess Hawaii, Alaska, and I was going to say somewhere up by Maine, but I would never have thought of Rhode Island.
Well, of course you were going to say that. Arizona has the most species of rattlesnakes at 14. California has 12. Texas has 9. New Mexico has 7 different species of rattlesnakes. And if you are in snake country, here's what a lot of experts are saying, and I was reading through this. I agree with this wholeheartedly. They say the best defense, if bitten by a snake, is a set of car keys and a driver. 100%.
Yes.
What do we mean by that is to never waste time. Get in the car and start driving. Call 911. Let someone know where you are going to, right? Because you're going to need anti-venom if by chance you would be bit. But the biggest thing is, and I know this is hard. I've never been bit by a snake, and this is easy for me to say, but to keep calm. You have to stay calm, because the more excited you get, the more anxiety and stress you have, that toxin is going to start moving through your system a whole lot faster.
That makes sense. Think about it. The faster your heart rate beats, the faster your blood's going to be pumping everywhere, and that venom is going to spread like wildfire.
And the person that is bit, of course, they're going to be kind of in a panic, right? So you maybe as the driver or as an observer, you want to make sure you want to watch their breathing, watch for any swelling in their face, okay?
Okay, so how about this? I've always been told that if you are bit, to also take a black marker or a pen and draw a circle around the bite mark so that a person can kind of monitor the situation.
Right, absolutely. We carry a little Sharpie in our backpacks, kind of wherever we go. I mean, we've always got that because lo and behold, we find ourselves in snake country a lot. Beck is not happy about that. But yes, to circle the bite mark, but write down the time too. Write down the time.
I'm going to throw this out there. And it's not just for snakes either. For example, it's even a good idea. Say you end up with a tick. The ticks are horrible too this year. And you have one that's bedded in your skin and you go and remove it.
Right.
Draw a marker around it. It's okay for a couple of days, but just to keep an eye on that spot after you remove the tick as well. So see, there's multiple reasons why to keep that Sharpie in your backpack when you're out in the outdoors this year. So back to snakes.
Okay. She's so excited. Back to snakes. Now, some people will argue back and forth about should I try to take a picture of the snake. I'm not going to tell you yay or nay on this stuff, but I will say kind of think common sense here a little bit. If you are in, say, South Dakota or North Dakota, the only venomous snake is the prairie rattlesnake. So if you are bitten by a rattlesnake, that's the one that it's going to be. So you can save time by not trying to go and capture a picture of said snake, right?
Okay.
If you are in other parts of the country where there are multiple species of rattlesnakes, now that's a different situation. When you get down south and you've got Massasaugas and you've got prairie rattlesnakes and then you've got timber rattlesnakes and then you've got diamondbacks and you've got all of these different species of rattlesnakes.
Is literally standing up right now.
You don't even
arms.
like the topic. I know that you don't like talking about this, Beck, but it is so good to be aware, though, of your surroundings. You and I, we love to hike. I am the first one when we go to a new fishing spot. I lose my ever-loving mind and I charge off through the brush, right? And
I know. I'm walking behind you, and I don't use a walking stick for hiking purposes. I'm using it to swoosh the grass in front of me to make sure there's not a snake in my path.
Right. And I will attest to this, that, most times a lot of these, and let's talk like the prairie rattlers that I'm familiar with, if you leave them alone and don't provoke them, most of the time you're going to be fine. They will a lot of times strike when they feel threatened, and that's when they will coil up, and especially if they're coiled up and they're backing away from whatever those vibrations were, aka us or the dog or something like that. It's when they're coiled up and they back into something and they're trying to get away and they back into a log or something, they feel trapped, and bam, that's when they will strike.
Well, I know this too about the rattlers specifically, is that this time of year, we're talking late April through through October. April through October, they're highly aggressive. Well, think about in the spring. Right now, they're just coming out. They're hungry.
Right.
They're moving around, and they're more active. And then towards the end of summer, early fall, they're getting ready to hibernate, shut her down for the winter. So they're, again, consuming extra food. So they're more aggressive at both times of the year. I know that.
And be aware that more people have been commenting on this, and it's documented. I am no herbologist. Is that right? Is that the one who studies snakes?
That I actually don't know.
I am no scientist by any stretch of the imagination, but it has been documented many times that there has been this little adaptation to some rattlesnakes where they are not developing rattles. They have the little nubs, but they're solid, so they're not actually able to rattle.
Yes, this I knew about.
Be leery of that.
We've reported on this actually the last several years because they started finding this in South Dakota in the Badlands there, that they were coming across They didn't realize there were rattlers. They maybe passed them off as bull snakes.
Bull snake,
but then
right?
all of a sudden, you got it right. Somebody got struck. Somebody got bitten. And lo and behold, they went and they were able to kill this rattlesnake, or it ended up being a rattlesnake. And they're doing just what you said. They're not rattling. They're adapting. And this isn't just in the Dakotas. That's also happening in California as well. So just a heads up.
And I know a lot of you in snake country are saying, oh, come on, and you live with them every day. I got it. I understand. But please remember, there are a lot of people that do not live in heavy snake country. They maybe aren't familiar with as many rattlesnakes. Like you said, Beck, you didn't grow up with them. So a lot of people do. They understand. And as people are traveling more and more, you're getting visitors to your place. You're getting out. You're doing all these things. We're just trying to make you aware. And we're passing along the information when people say, hey, they're thick.
I'm going to jump in here, not to scare y'all. There's a reason why also, as you just said, visiting. Because, yes, where I grew up, we had a lot of bull snakes. However, we're talking less than 40 miles south of the ranch I grew up on. There was an incident just a few years ago. A little girl out visiting, went out in the driveway, picked up a bicycle, ended up with 2 rattlesnakes on either side of that bicycle, and she got bit.
There you
by
go.
both of them.
There you go. Bam.
See, it doesn't matter. You could be looking at your map saying, oh, they don't have snakes in this area. No. It could change within 30 miles of one area to another.
So we're fixing to go to break, but Beck, I'm going to say this, and you're going to hate me for it, but send us in your snake pictures. Blow up her email on this. Make her lose her ever-loving mind. Beck, what is the email one more time?
BandRadioShow@gmail.com. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're talking about some more beef. All right, stay where you are. The Ben Show will be back right after this. You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadwin Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
Get ready for the thrill of a lifetime. The world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale is back, featuring one of the largest one-day match bronc riding events on the planet. Join us on Sunday, May 19th at the fairgrounds for a PRCA-sanctioned spectacle where over 30 elite bronc riders compete for a massive $50,000 purse. Let's add to the excitement with pari-mutuel wagering. Visit buckinghorsesale.com for a full schedule and tickets. The world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale in Miles City, Montana, where the spirit of the West comes alive.
Welcome back to the Ben Show. This is Beef Trivia Part 2, as it is National Beef Month. Tigger, are you ready?
1, 2, 3, go.
All right. How many quarter-pound hamburgers come from a 1,200-pound beef animal? Is it A, 750, B, 1,000, or C, 2,100?
2,100.
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
Darn right.
How many hamburgers does the average American eat each year?
Not enough.
I will agree with that one. A, 114, or B, 75?
114, baby.
You guessed on that one.
No, I didn't guess it.
You
I know
totally
that stuff.
guessed. All right. How many footballs can be made from one cowhide? Even though footballs, I know they're called pigskins, they are made from cowhides.
Right.
Is it 3 or 20?
20.
You remembered when we were talking about basketballs at the beginning of the show, didn't you?
I knew that.
You did not. When we talk about the fat in beef, how much is saturated fat? Is it all of it, 75%, or less than half?
Less than half.
Very nice. Less than half. Good job. Good job. All right. Beef has ZIP. Z-I-P. What does that stand for? think about what does beef contain that is nutrients.
Zinc, iron, protein.
Yes.
You didn't think I'd get that, did you?
I did not. I totally thought I was going to get by you on this one. Okay.
I know the cow stuff.
What are the white flecks in beef called when we look at that beautiful piece of
Marbling.
meat? Is it A, marbling?
Marbling.
B, muscle, or C,
Marbling.
bristle?
Get out of there, marbling.
It is marbling.
Don't even
I had to
try.
double check because you are the cow geek in our household. All right, that's all I've got for now. It is National Beef Month, so make sure you enjoy and be supporting those local farmers and ranchers in your area. You know, you never can have enough beef when it's supper time.
You were going to do the Sam Elliott, weren't you?
That's a wrap of our show. Remember, you can always call or text us at 305-900-2363 or email bendradioshow@gmail.com and check out the show notes or past episodes at thebendshow.com. Thank you to our partners. The world famous Miles City Buck and Horse Sale will be there. We are every year, third weekend in May. Ditelli Outdoors, the Prairie Crocus, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard. By the way, if you don't have that on hand, get some Mickey's Mustard right now. You won't regret it. Also, thank you to RFD TV and Wrangler. And finally, a big thanks to all of you that came along. Keep riding with us as we ranch it up. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Ben Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Ben.